Hi YouTube. They say that third time is a charm, and that's what we're trying here. I attempted to do a broadcast earlier today. I am on the road in Pittsburgh, and failed to produce audio. So that read, I'll just summarize. We did a read about self-care, and our dominant energy was the Six of Pentacles, which is about giving. And so what we learned was that the best route to helping others is through self-care, that we need to put on our own mask before we put on the mask of others on the plane, because we can't do much if we're not breathing. And now, on the subject of making mistakes, I'd like to do a reading on mistakes. And today I'm going to be using the Wild Unknown. This is the first time we're using this deck on the broadcast. And it's a nice, lovely deck that has a lot of nature-based imagery, but it's a little bit more singularly focused than the classic Rider-Waite. However, it does still use the Rider-Waite system. I believe there are no reverses in this deck, but if there are, we're going to respect them. All right, here we go. Clarifying spread on mistakes. Ooh, very relevant. Okay, I'm going to begin this by talking about some of the contributing factors. So, Eight of Wands in Rider-Waite, you typically see 8 wands flying through the air. It's kind of like a bow and arrow. It's on the way down. Here, you see a lightning striking the ground, and we see 8 wands spreading out from that. They both fundamentally have to do with the same thing, but I think that this deck sort of clarifies it a little bit more clearly. So what we're seeing is impetus. The sudden moment where something is set into motion. It might be that that moment is coming up in the near future for you. It might be that it's just happened. But the key is, once this is set into motion, it's not stopping. This is something that's going to continue. It's all about inertia, momentum, all of that. Now, Two of Wands is the Alexander the Great as the young card, holding the world in his hands, looking forward at what he believes he will be able to accomplish in his life. It's about clearly seeing the path forward, seeing all the possibilities, and sitting there to contemplate where you will go next. Six of Wands, so this is a very wands-heavy draw, which has a lot to do with action. Six of Wands is all about victory, rising up. In this we see, in the Rider-Waite, there is a man on a horse carrying a laurel, with a bunch of people cheering, and this is all about those victories that happen along our path that prove to us that we will be successful. There is sort of a bit of a warning in the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands tells us not to spend too much time focusing on those victories, but instead focus on the journey ahead and the longer victory, the bigger victory that is to come. But it is overall a happy card. Now, the fact that a read about mistakes, and when I get to the dominant energy here, this is going to become much more relevant. In a read about mistakes, we see a bunch of Wands cards. Wands are the card of moving things forward. So what I'm seeing here is that whenever you make a mistake, you need to look forward, you need to learn from it, and you need to make that something that can become an inertia for you. So through taking our mistakes as lessons, you can use that to formulate a new path forward, and make things move, get things going, and through that we will see little victories. But just like these mistakes weren't the ultimate completion of our journey, these victories aren't going to be the ultimate completion either. So whenever you see that, you need to keep on moving. Now, the reason why I laughed when I saw this card, because I love this card, is that this just really brings it all together. So Five of Cups can sometimes be seen as a disappointing card. I think it's on the cover of a Wabs album for this reason. But we see in this image like a little sad horse, and he's got a bunch of cups next to him. We have in Rider-Waite, there's sort of like a cloaked figure where he's looking at 3 of the cups that have spilled. 2 of the cups are filled with blood, were filled with blood. 1 of the cups is filled with water, indicating the different types of loss. But behind him, there are 2 cups that are upright, and he's just not looking at them. And so I think that this is just absolutely, totally clear and reinforces what we saw in the contributing factors, that we need to see, yes, mistakes will happen, cups will spill, but there's no use crying over spilled milk. We need to just turn around, we need to look at the cups behind us, the things that we still have, we need to formulate a plan, and we need to continue moving forward towards our goals. And I think that this is a beautiful read when talking about mistakes. I couldn't have hoped for better cards. So as always, if you enjoyed the read, leave me some comments. If anything was particularly relevant to what's going on in your life, let me know. If you have anything that you want to talk about, I'd love to talk about it here on the show. You can either leave it in the comments or email me, tarottubeshow@gmail.com, and I will do my best to get to that as soon as possible. Like and subscribe. I get to the end of the video and I beg like everybody else. Just please like and subscribe. It's all you gotta do. You gotta click that little thumb up at the bottom, subscribe. You don't even have to turn on notifications, but if you want to see me every day, YouTube will let you know when I'm broadcasting. That's it for December 23rd. Just a reminder, whenever you make mistakes in this upcoming holiday, see the bigger picture, continue moving forward, and I think you're going to see greatness.